Tom, last weekend, the Missouri Collegiate Challenge for the indoor track team. You want to tell us how that went?
Absolutely. It was a great meet hosted by the University of Missouri. It was a meet for Missouri schools, a lot of Division II schools. It was actually the first time that we had seen a bulk of the conference schools head-to-head in one meet. So, including us, 5 of the 12 conference schools are represented.
But these are all schools in Missouri, right? The NAIA schools as well as the NCAA schools?
Included some NAIA schools, and you know, it was on the campus of the University of Missouri, so there were some Missouri Tigers in the competition. And so, yeah, I mean, it was a great meet, great competition, great facility. It was a great meet for us. It was really our last chance to chase some marks in preparation for the Great Lakes Valley Indoor Conference Championships. And it was a great way to just get some comparisons, again, head-to-head to see, you know, what do you do when you've got a GLVC opponent in the lane next to you or right in front of you in the flight.
What I like is that you bring a list of people that did well, and when you've got a paper, that means there are a lot of people. That's good.
Absolutely.
Tell us about some of those people.
Yeah, it was, I mean, like I said, it was a great meet. You know, track and field is one of those sports that not every meet is a scored meet. So we can't always go to the scoreboard and say, you know, we scored this many points versus S&T versus Truman. Now, next week, that'll be the case. We will get a true comparison of head-to-head competition with team scores. You know, we had 22 personal bests this weekend.
I know you said that. That's amazing.
And, you know, we only had we took 38 people to the meet. And so of all the events that we were in, 22 of them were personal bests. You know, I'd say highlighting the meet was Margaret Perko. She placed first in the 60-meter hurdles with a personal best time of 8:97. So, you know, for her, that was her first collegiate win, and that was a big stage to do it on. Yeah. You know, it was the first time breaking 9 seconds for her. So quite an accomplishment for her, especially as a sophomore. You know, she also placed third in the long jump. So she really had a fantastic day. But 2 other freshmen, Blake Alexander, also placed second in the 60-meter hurdles. He ran a personal best time of 8.18 seconds. That's a provisional qualifying time, and he's currently ranked 21st in the Division II in the entire country right now. So for him, we're looking at top 16 spots to go to the national meet to be invited. You got to be top 16, so he's right on the bubble. A couple of the guys that are ahead of him are in our conference, which means that, you know, next week when we're head-to-head again on a fast track in a good meet like that, you know, I expect him to go faster, and you know, he's a freshman, so
these are all young guys.
Yeah,
and women as well.
Absolutely, and that's exciting to me. I mean, we're moving in the right direction. You know, the college made a commitment to track and field in the last couple of years as we joined the Great Lakes Valley Conference, and you know, you're seeing some of that commitment. Sure. From the institution come through in the student athletes that we have on the team. Other highlights of the meet, Trevor Nix. He's a freshman from Owensville, Missouri. He took second in the shot put. I believe he's second all-time as far as William Jewell throwers go, and he's a freshman. Alec Whiteside was right behind him. I believe he was 6th. And then in the weight throw, you know, both those guys were top 6 finishers as well. So we were actually the only school in competition in the throws where you compare, or when you include the men's events and the women's events, you know, we had at least 2 throwers in the finals of every single event. And we're the only school that across the board. So our throws program is fantastic. Those guys are doing great things. Trevor Nix and Alec Whiteside going into the conference meet, they are the 2 highest ranked freshmen in both the indoor events. So Jessica Shockley, sophomore, she broke the school record in the 800 meters. And so fantastic day for her. Yeah. Personal best indoor, obviously, if it's a school record, but the previous record was there, I think, is a 14 or 15-year-old record. So it was time for it to come down, and you know, I expect her to go even faster this week at the GLVCs.
Yeah.
So,
well, I see why you're so excited.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of good stuff.
Anything else from last weekend before we talk about the indoor, the GLVC indoor?
I mean, there's always more to talk about, but not always enough time to talk about it. So we can go ahead and move on to the GLVCs.
Yeah, this is what the 3rd year you're competing in the GLVC indoors, and you've had some success here. What's your feeling going into this year's event?
You know, we have had a lot of success at the GLVC meet. One of the things that we talked about on several occasions this year is that we are continuing to recruit and build the depth of our program. So we have a lot of individual talent and kids that have done well. In fact, track and field holds the distinct honor of being the first sport and first team at William Jewell to earn a Great Lakes Valley Conference championship.
Right.
And so, and in fact, we've got, within the past 2 years, I mean, I think we have had 6 people that were conference champions. And so, a great way to introduce ourselves to the conference. But, you know, now that's kind of old news. I'm a third year in. It's time to move on. It's time to do some good things. Again, that we're young.
Sure.
A lot of the kids we had that were winning those championships, they were upperclassmen. They'd been around, and even though spent half their career in the NAIA, the NAIA is a great track and field association, and a lot of talented kids and coaches in that organization. And so they were able to step up and compete in Division II. So my expectations for this meet are more to get kids experience. I think we'll see a lot of great marks. I think we'll see a lot of people go faster and farther than they've ever gone before. You know, but again, with such a young crew, sometimes it's just getting to a conference meet, experiencing and seeing the level and the talent that the conference has, and getting the experience and the confidence knowing that you can compete there. Sure. And so that's really what we're looking for more than anything. To be honest, we don't have the depth right now to make a run at a top 3 spot.
Okay.
I would expect both our men's and women's teams to be right in the middle of the pack, but that's not a bad place to be with a bunch of freshmen and sophomores.
Is there a program within the conference that you say, this is what we would like to be like? We kind of model ourselves or look at what they're doing and want to do the same thing. Is there a leader in that regard?
Well, there are a lot, and that's the great thing about this conference is that from top to bottom, there's just a lot of great programs with a lot of great coaches. And so, you know, some schools off the bat that we can look at are Indianapolis, Bellarmine, Lewis, Truman, newcomer Truman. They've got a great program over there. You know, S&T. You know, those are all programs that we would like to follow a model in the sense that they are well-rounded programs. They recruit athletes to compete in every single event, and they go to the conference meet attempting to score points in every single event. And that's, you know, that's the direction that we're headed with this program. You know, live results will be available for this meet. So first event starts off on Friday. We'll start with the women's pentathlon and the men's heptathlon, and that's a 2-day event. The women contest 5 events over 1 day, and the guys do 7 events over 2 days. And so, but this Friday and Saturday, tune in and see the live results and cheer us on as we go.